There you go.
Okay, yeah. Okay, 15 minutes on the value of PWD lived experience as contributor to dementia-friendly community. Hello, I'm Truthful Loving Kindness, and if I am a person with dementia, a PWD, and my brain is dying, what can I personally contribute toward dementia-friendly community? I can share my lived experience. What particular Swiss cheese of dementia symptoms I have. What areas of life have holes instead of the cheese and skills, and how to make the most of the skills that are left, in hopes that you, as coach, professional, or loved one, can apply that lived information in your relationships, because community is made up of relationships. So, diagnosis. My cognitive problems first became noticeable in the year 2000, but it took 12 years before I got even a tentative diagnosis for dementia. How can you personally apply that information in your relationships? Well, often dementia is a gradual slope. So do not assume that diagnosis means the next step is adult diapers and a care facility. If you are a person without dementia, then help the person with dementia, the PWD as I say, help the PWD make appropriate legal preparations so that job isn't hanging over our heads. But acknowledge the fact that we have a lot of living before we get to end stage. I did know how to do this. There. In order to emphasize that fact, my friends and I put together a booklet called PWD Success Stories. And there's some free ones over there on the table, and I see some over there too. They're free, but this project is funded by my own wallet. So after you get done reading them, can you pass it on to another person with dementia or a coach or a professional? If you are a person with dementia, a PWD, then I've got great news for you. There are peer groups ready to share their lived experiences in order to enhance this time in your life. So, after diagnosis, 2 years later, I discovered the wonderful online peer groups and blogs. Let me introduce the blog from a friend of mine named Harry Urban. Diagnosed more than 10 years ago, and he was leading the way on this trail when I arrived. He wrote, "I want to go home, where I belong. I don't belong here and can't understand why I'm here." These are the thoughts that go through the mind when you suffer from some form of dementia. Your life is being forgotten. You look around and don't recognize anybody or where you are. It doesn't seem right, and you just want to go home. The problem is, I don't remember where home is. I may be at the point of no return. I want to go home, but no one can reach into my mind to help me. I'm alone and wandering down this road. Harry's blog reminds me of my daddy leading the way. When Daddy and I were walking in the night, he held the lantern out to his side. That enabled him to see a bit of the road ahead and me to see a bit of the trail in between. This Dementia Trail is full of bumps and tangles of thistles. And through our writing, we can signpost the dangers as we go for those following behind. Coach and onlooker can observe and assist, but we on the Dementia Trail itself have a unique perspective. Someday, there will be a cure. and we hope the trail will not last long enough to become a well-worn path. In the meantime, we continue to shine the light on our trails by writing or making videos or speaking with groups. A few days later, Harry bounced back with this. Have you ever had the feeling that you helped someone you never met? I shed tears when I'm able to help someone that has no one else to turn to. I call it my work, but it is a gift given to me by this horrible disease I have called Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's has taken me to the darkest places, and I had to learn how to crawl out or be stuck there for the rest of my life. It's not just a social commitment or a part-time endeavor. This is what I am supposed to do with my life. Unless you walk the path, you have no idea. Harry is a motivator for writing in my blog and was one of the founders for Dementia Mentors. I made this poster for Dementia Mentors in memory of my two grandmothers who walked the dementia path before I did. Since I learned from those who went before me and led the way, I do not dread what is to come. This is not a new path, even though it is unfamiliar to me. Like those before me, I will travel this path with honor and integrity, lighting the path for those who follow, until a cure is found. The peer group of Dementia Mentors is primary support for me. It's not only something I want, it is something I need. After beginning the video chats on Wednesdays and Fridays, I turned to my husband and I said, you know what? Right now I feel normal. Really, I know I'm not, but I feel like I am. I have so much in common with my friends that during our chats, I am normal. Dementia Mentors are one of the resources listed in the PWD Success Stories booklet. Back to my Swiss cheese symptoms. My most intact skills are in research, relationships, and writing. In contrast, the biggest holes where symptoms have removed my abilities are in reading, arithmetic, and remembering. My reading comprehension has now dropped from university level to 4th grade. My last job was in accounting, but now I couldn't tell you whether 44 was larger than 37. And my husband says I often repeat the same questions. I also have a hard time recognizing the way he looks, but I recognize his voice immediately. I have smell hallucinations, usually of something burning, which I discovered is a very common smell with my PWD friends. And once in a while, I have visual hallucinations, usually bugs. How fun, huh? However, notice that the remaining skills allow me to maximize sharing of my lived experience. What else? Another aspect of life after diagnosis is working on dementia advocacy. We take the portions of our cognitive functions that remain and apply them to awareness and advocacy projects. Dementia Alliance International, abbreviated DAI, is the formal nonprofit organization that I look to for that aspect in my life. And contact information is, again, in the booklets. It's also written here. I've been forgetting to cross things off as I went, so I have no idea where I am. There it is. Completely by and for persons with dementia. We offer video and text support groups, but also it seems like it is geared to help train us as spokespersons to the world. I'm currently in their groupings for Speakers Bureau and for video, but there are several other outreach groups, again, by and for the person with dementia. Recently, World Health Organization collaborated with DAI on what they call the WISH project. And Alzheimer's Disease International has also agreed to start collaborating with DAI as an independent international group of people living with dementia. This is an exciting development, and as the DAI newsflash states, DAI has worked for almost 12 months toward this, and are very hopeful it is the beginning of significant change towards ensuring the voices of people with dementia are heard. Most importantly, that we are always included in the conversations about us, on the things that impact our lives and futures. Okay, that's a lot to go on for a person with dementia. But what if you are a person without dementia? What does this have to do with you or with dementia-friendly community? For one thing, request a speaker from the DAI Speakers Bureau. Regularly access the DAI masterclasses, webinars, and blogs in order to see life from the perspective of persons with dementia. And that is why I started the monthly online newsletter of PWD Perspectives, to allow others to see life through the looking glass from life perceptions of my fellow persons with dementia, or PWD. No revisions, explanations, or printing format is available with this newsletter. It's simply a collection of gathered links from what we write, or videos, or artwork of persons with dementia. Just like a search engine, only it's in one place. The artwork above is based on my friend's symptoms of sensory overload from frontotemporal dementia and hallucinations that can occur even in the early stages of Lewy body dementia. Meanwhile, here are a couple more excerpts from other persons. I myself wrote a piece on conversation tips from patient perspective, which many have found helpful, and I brought a few copies over there. Robert Bowles wrote, ASAP squared means A, as soon as possible, S, maintain equal, skipped. A, find acceptance of the diagnosis. I thought that makes a lot more sense. S, maintain equal or greater social interaction. A, develop an attitude that is positive and focuses on my two mantras. And P, find your purpose in life since diagnosis. Robert's two mantras are live life like never before, live life to the fullest, and I do not have time to die. I have too much to live for. Tommy Dunn posted it very concisely. Dementia has taught me that I'm here to do a job. It's shown me that I still have a purpose and a duty to fulfill before time runs out. You can see significant things are being produced. I think verbal and artistic produce from the lived experiences of persons with dementia are able to contribute toward dementia-friendly communities. Despite our dementia label, or maybe because of that context, it is very important to value the product from our remaining cognitive abilities. One of the best ways is to listen to our words. Truly listen, not just wait and endure while we're speaking, not just quickly scan what we write. Instead, reflect on our thoughts and art so that you can apply that to your relationships. Time's up. Thank you very much for listening.